Hello, hello. We are gonna be live here. Well, we are live, but I have to launch the mod yet. That might have helped. What race did I leave off at? Oh my gosh, it's been too long. I need to remember where I am in the schedule here. Let me go to the right save here. Bristol? Are we Bristol? Hold on. You know what? I need to just hop out and hop in. At least just to see what track I'm at, and then we can load the mod proper. Okay, Michigan is next. Alright. Michigan. Why did my track modifiers not load? Oh, that's not good. Hold on. I know you guys can't see any of that. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm going to fire up the actual code here. Apologies for the delay. I should have set up first, but this is the last minute. Why is that not loading now? My track adjustments are not loading for the different... oh, that sheet's empty. Well, let me delete it and then it'll work. There, I figured I'd change it up so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. I lost my adjusted settings for the tracks, which kind of stinks because that means I'll have to go back and figure out. I need to have like a backup, but I need to go back and figure out what's what there. Randomized paint, 60 FPS patch. Do the year 1 setting because that's where we're at. That's the wrong. That's for my painting thing. That's fine. Career. Okay. All right. I don't need to do any of that. Any of that? No. Richmond's in there. Oh, we need to do Michigan races. So part-time for Hamilton, full-time for Greg Sachs and Phil Parsons and Bill Venturini, Lake Speed, and Dale Jarrett, and also we want to do, oh, there's a few more yet. McDuffie, Pennington, Rodney Combs, and where, hold on, Neil Bonnet. We also want. All right. That's only going to leave me, and then one AI person's going to be random from there. Oh, no, wait. No, that's right. Yeah, just one. And then generate. All right. Apologies again for not being set up beforehand, but I was not ready as I should have been. Cheats. And off we go. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay, and just in case I want to do save states, we'll go to the right one. Oh, my custom paint. Oh, I probably don't have textures on yet. Yeah, I was doing some basic stuff in the game before. I've been meaning to fix this, but I don't have a good way to fix that completely without just making it 7, but I'll probably in future have it as 7. There's no good way to get the O numbers up there. Okay, I don't think we had anything team management-wise to do yet. We have one race for that to build before we could build anything new. I could start repairing these, however. Ooh, that might actually be worth overhauling. Oh, wait. Wait, it says I'm building, not over... Oh, it's the only one that's... yeah, because the other one's... it'd be my... I'd have nothing to do, or nothing left to fix. So we'll fix that one up. We'll just fix it. I could also build one of these. 74. It's going to take 9 races. That's fine. Alright. Do I have enough to do one of these yet? Do I want power? I guess so. I did the other 2. Yeah. It's because that gives us more storage space. Yeah, I guess this may be the next one. We'll do 6 races. Okay. All that stuff's out of the way. Let's get to the track. Yeah, it should be quick select because there's only one of each to really pick. So, apologies for not streaming much lately between being sick and getting ready for a wedding when I wasn't sick. I just got married today. Literally today. So, wasn't planning on streaming, but I don't know, kind of felt like streaming after. Let me look, make sure the default's in. Kind of felt like streaming for a little while. Oh man, why does it seem like speed up's still on? Is it not? Yeah, it wasn't. That was weird. Make sure, yeah, my paint's there. Whoops. Yeah, I just felt like streaming. I felt like running at least a race. I'm probably gonna run 2 tonight. But I just felt I hadn't streamed in a while and I hadn't raced in a while, so I don't know, I was itching. Well, the grandstands are disappearing really weird here at distance. I don't remember having that issue at this track in the emulator. Maybe I just never noticed. Oh, man, we qualified quick. Oh, also the mod stuff with the qualifying times, I don't know how to fix it further because in career mode, they changed the pace that everybody's at in another location or something in memory, and they adjust it further to where I can't tell. Like, my settings work for race now, for the custom qualifying laps for most every track, but they don't apply correctly for career mode, and I'm not sure why that is. And I'm probably going to qualify way the heck up front now. If we got 12th on the first lap, we were up to speed the second lap. We'll start 9th. I had to move my monitor closer. P9. All right, and let me get the pylon going because I don't have that up. Just highlight my dad. Pylon window. There we go. All right, so if you're Michigan, yep. And if you're just getting in, guys, I literally got married today. That's why we're late to stream. I almost didn't at all.
Falcon 1824. Said yo, bro, what's up?
What's up? Welcome, Falcon. I'm a rookie, I should be.
Bash. Said congrats.
Thank you, Kyle.
Bill Elliott
will go for yet another top 10 finish at a speedway in this one.
Well, that's right, and I think he will have an excellent run in this one as well. I spoke to the crew chief this morning, and he assured me that
said
they
congrats.
have a very fast
Thank you,
hot
thank you.
rod.
Butch Miller will try to use this race to gain a couple spots in the
They
points.
always talk about Butch Miller.
Season, and it is paying off so far. He'll need a good finish in this one to gain some spots.
Dude, I seriously think, like, half the races of this season they've talked about Butch Miller, which is fun. Earnhardt on the pole.
Said congrats, it's about time. Welcome to the Merry Life.
Thank you. Ring
Bash.
is
Says
there.
you say rookie. I've raced you far from that LOL.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not a rookie. Just in the career mode, our car upgrades and such are of rookie levels. And it doesn't matter how good you are at this game, if you're running default setups and you're in the first season, you're not going to be fast. And especially with the mod tool where I rebalanced some of the AI at some of the tracks to where they should be tracks where they normally suck, they are actually tough. Tracks where they're tough, they're a little easier, just to balance them out a little bit. Casual 3 wide to start off. Well, 50 laps is a lot here. I thought this one was 40 for some reason. Oh. Ernie Irvin, Terry Labonte were getting swarmed at the start, which makes sense because qualified way ahead of where we should be. Tim Richmond there in our fantasy car. Or what if situations, one of them. Oh, you got a donut on that 75 already. Oh, and then
Said gonna win in turn 1.
Oh. Kind of. Yeah, Rick Wilson. I couldn't remember who's 75. It's been too long. I'm just glad I wasn't sick anymore in time for the wedding, and that she didn't get sick either. That all worked out pretty well. Next to MRN's favorite, Butch Miller. Nope. Ernie got into us. I mean, I got into him a little earlier, so it's only fair. DW snuck by. Kawicki going by. Bill Elliott. Swarmed. Oh, no, that's not Bill Elliott. Bill's way ahead of that. That was Dick Trickle. And then Jimmy Horton just passed 3-4 of us there in one corner. A man on a mission. Oh, I also have an update coming to the tool. I don't know when I'm going to release it, but part of the update, and I should run this. I didn't, but I could run this. Hutch Strickland's what reminded me, but I could run this for myself if I wanted, because I already have this code done, but I'm not going to release just for this little change yet. But I made it to where there will be an option for... Oh god, missed that turn. Entry to 3 is always tough here. There's an option for if you have cars with with the same number, multiple people in the same number, you can let the tool randomly select who's gonna race. If you put them both full-time or both part-time or whatever, like, it'll change one of them to fantasy and leave the other, or if there's 3 in the same number, it'll pick one of them, let them run, and it won't have the others run. So but if one of them's full-time and one's part-time, it's gonna just, the full-timer's gonna get it all the time. But like I said, if you set them both to full-time or both to part-time with the same number, so again, Hutch Strickland in the 12 and Alex, the heck's his name? Oh my god, I can't think of his name now. But the other 12 car, the tool will pick for you randomly now. So that's, I say now, when I release the next update. Well, we got by Greg Sachs there. That was a pass that we did. We're gonna end up riding around near Davey Allison, which is not bad in this season because he's been. I mean, it's not great as you'd expect from Davey, but it's not bad for us because he's been around like the 20s most of the year. He had like 1 or 2 random good races, and other than that, he's just been kind of here. There's quite a... Oh, God, I got loose. There's quite a pack in front of us, though. I had to think. I'm like, yeah, that's Morgan this year. I was just watching random clips on Facebook Reels. It's been giving me a lot of stuff from NASCAR Classics of random years in the 90s, and I'm like, that 15 car changed hands so many times, my mind was blanking on who's in it in 90. Because one of the clips I just watched recently had Brett Bodine in the 15, and I was like, I don't remember him running that. I mean, not that I would. I was 2 years old in 1990, so... You know, fair enough on that front, I suppose. Well, we're gonna be... It looks like our pace is solidly a top 35, so we're not worried about that. We do finally... This is one of the first races we have upgraded anything. Rather than the base 50 car, so it makes sense. That said, though, I remember Michigan being one of the tracks that
Falcon 1824 said yes, he did.
Yeah, Brett ran that car. Yeah, I don't know what year though. I feel like it was like late 80s. But no, I was gonna say this is one of the races that I remember the AI, like at 25%. You can't make it on fuel, but they can on one stop. But not all of them will. Like some of them will stop right at the end of the race. But not many. So I don't know what we're in for that on that side of things. Maybe we'll get lucky and actually have a caution this race on like most of our season.
Said may sound weird, but I want e-racing to add the plane so I can fly it around the track doing a league race.
Dude, if you... I mean... I don't know if you've ever played War Thunder, but I played the heck out of War Thunder when it was pretty new. And when they announced that they were mixing with tanks to where, like, you could fly the plane and play and just shoot other planes, but also there's a tank battle going on, and you could either join that or ignore it or whatever you wanted to do when you played. Yeah, no, like, being like, hey, you could fly the blimp around or something in iRacing, that'd be hilarious. When you're in spectator mode, and then they have, like, a minimum flight height, I guess, or something. If you go below the minimum, the AI takes over to fly you back up or something. But otherwise, like, you could, in spectator mode, control one of the things flying around the track. That'd be great.
Bash said think that would make it cool for streamed races.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be... You know, every single broadcast team would make that, like... I don't want to call it a gimmick, but they'd make a meme out of that and be like, you know, let's go to Larry up in the blimp, and then, you know, like some random dude's controlling it who's part of the broadcast team, and is like, I got lost, I'm at the wrong track, I don't know where anything, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have that being a meme, like, all the time. This pack's just slowly getting away from us, but we're also slowly getting away from, as I get loose into one, Marcus and Lake Speed behind us. Well, now I'm not, because I drifted into one. These darn bias ply tires, or whichever ones we have in 1990. Everybody used to blame it on that. It was these newfangled tires. That's something I am glad iRacing gave us, though, is a car and tire prior to this, to where it was still the one that everybody liked to race and was fun and drifty.
Said there is a race going on. I found Daytona Beach and the sand and ocean looks amazing.
What? Oh, yeah. Oh, like, that'd be them from the blimp. Oh, there's a race? I got ya. Needed quotes around that. At first, I lost my train of thought completely. Yeah, no, that would be exactly what they would say. Maybe this isn't the race I'm thinking of where you can't make it once, or maybe it was 10% race length that you can't make it one, but the AI can. I think everybody does too on 25%. I don't know. I could have sworn it was Michigan where it was weird. Well, Lake Speed caught us and is looking into 3, but not there yet. We're so drifty on entry with this setup. We're catching Rick Wilson, though. We got his draft now. Who's out front? Oh, Earnhardt's still leading from the pole. Derek Cope's up there. Kyle Petty's up there. Got blocked by Wilson with his donut on his door from like lap 1. Yeah, I wasn't going to stream between what time it is and what today has been, but like I said, I don't know, I had the itch, and I hadn't streamed in so long already. It's been a few weeks.
Said yes, it's Michigan. Falcon 1824. Said in 89 they stopped using bias ply tires and in 90 ran radials.
Yeah, that was it. Bias were the old ones.
Said AI can make it on 1 stop. You have to make 2.
Okay, I thought that was this race, Clincher. Thank you for reminding me. I really couldn't remember. Well, can we do the weird... I haven't tried... People were telling me about the shifting to neutral in the corner entry thing that they do, and I don't remember exactly how to do it. Let me try. There we go. Okay, so if you've never done that in this game, and you didn't know you could do that in this game, what you do is you downshift. You have to have manual shifting on. You downshift to 3rd and immediately upshift to 4th, but on your upshift you hold the upshift button down. So down, up, and I hold it. And that's how you save some fuel. So we'll try to do 1 stop here. Granted, I didn't start doing this saving till this lap, so we'll see how it goes. It's probably not going to be enough, but we'll try it. Oh god, I went into 3 way too hard there for that. Oh, I also didn't nail the upshift. We're going to lose so much extra time because of that, but we should still be... I think we could still get a top 35 as long as we can still do 1 stop, or if we get a yellow. I see my dad is doing terrible. He's got no good luck today either. I've been meaning to... and I tried to fix it when I was sick, but I couldn't figure it out. I was meaning to change the actual database file to make everybody's variance the same. That one stat that I can't control in the game with cheats yet, that I've not figured out how to do, but is something you can change in the database. I wanted to make everybody's variance 2. It's always anywhere from 1 through 5, but I don't think that number is significant to how much variance their stats have. I think it's like a multiplier. So 5 is like a crazy amount of variance. But I wanted to get it to where everybody had the same. So I was going to set everybody to like 2 for variance. But when I went to change that through the database file, just for my save for these streams and stuff. So, oh, somebody blew up. Oh, is that my dad? My dad blew up. Oh my god. He was already having a bad day. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to be close to making it to halfway on this fuel. I know I wasn't saving long, but I don't even think I could save long. But no, so what I was going to say... I'm not going to save this lap because I'm going to pit. Lost my train of thought completely. Words, they fail me. I don't even know what I was talking about. Somebody help. Help. Brain broke. Wait, no. Oh, the variance stat. That's it. That's right. Hang on. Let me get in pit road first. Oops. I always hate that menu comes up and you sometimes change your tires by accident. Alright, here's our pit crew guys. So the variant stats one I wanted to change for our streams so that we have less craziness with people's stats and we should see a little more accurate positioning by some of the drivers and whatever. Oh no, who messed up? Was that the Jackman? He kind of like stepped around him. That was weird. Jackman is nobody in our stream. By the way, if you're in the chat and you want to get added,
See my old seat in turn 3-4 and also see my now infield spot.
nice. I was gonna say, if you're in the stream chat and you want to get added to the pit crew, just like let me know, and I'll add you between this and the next stream to the pit crew randomly. You'll get a job. Yeah. So the variance stat, I tried changing it in the database, and normally what happens if you change the database, the raw file, you have to do a couple of fixes in hex code to get it to work, and for some reason, after I changed and saved it, I went to fix the things in hex code and they weren't there to fix. So there wasn't a problem. So I'm kind of confused because I don't know how to, because it still errored out. It didn't work. I couldn't run the game with those stats changed. So somehow I got it to save where it didn't do the error values that you can fix, but it still errored anyway, so I can't use it. So I don't know. I have to mess with it again sometime, and maybe in a couple future streams we'll have better AI variants for at least for this. Like I said, I couldn't get to work in time. I didn't get a chance to really mess with it, and it was lower priority of things I wanted to work on anyway. I did spend a little bit of time this past week on, not much, just a couple hours, but I spent a little bit of time working on my own game that I'm building from scratch, which is going to be a race team manager game. I'm working on one of those from the ground up, but I didn't, like I said, I only spent a couple hours on it. I didn't do too much this week. There isn't really enough there's not going to be anything to show for quite a while probably, but I did spend some time on that. Yeehaw. Alright, so I gave up on trying to fuel because I didn't save the first run, so there was no way we were going to save 10 laps of gas. So I'm giving up on that. I'm going to run the car hard and just pit with about 15 to go. And just hope that either a yellow comes out before we pit, or, well, after they cycle here, which they're about done, and before we pit. So we gave up some time saving fuel the first run. And then there's the guys that are going to make it on fuel here. We're also going to lose those spots in the second run. I didn't set up my little button box for the pylon for the shortcuts. So you guys are going to be stuck with the default view, no lap counters or anything. That's something else I tried to do in the past couple weeks. I was looking for where in memory the intervals live. I tried again to find them, and man, I have no freaking idea. But I was trying. That said, though, there was one place in memory that I might have found a link. Bless you. I might have found a link to the intervals, and I might be able to derive something from it. I have to dig deeper and mess with it more, but I was disabling sections of code to see if I could figure out how to shut off the auto brake when you get a run on people, because that'd be amazing if we could do that. And when I was looking for that, one of the things I shut off, or one of the things when I shut it off, the intervals were not updating. It was just showing 0 for everybody. So I might, from that code being disabled, be able to follow it to where it does the updating of the intervals and pinpoint it. Maybe, hopefully, possibly. But I don't know. I haven't messed. The debugger's so complex to use for the emulator stuff that it's not meant to do the stuff I'm doing with it necessarily. Doing a lot of position swapping as I lose focus there for a second and almost hit the wall. Jimmy Means on fresh tires. Moroso we swapped a couple times. I wonder if we get... Yeah, we gained 2 points because we passed him clean once. So I guess we only really swapped once or twice. Because you only get them when you pass them clean. They don't give you ally points when they pass you clean. I think it'd be a nicer touch if they passed you... Let me rephrase that. If they passed you clean, but also, like, not just once, because then every time they ever get by you, but I mean, like, if they get to you and you don't make contact within 5 laps of them passing you. Because essentially you could run into somebody like 3 times to hold them off. They could pass you clean once after that, and then you'd still get the points. And it'd be like, you know, you're getting rewarded for blocking the crap out of them. But I think if they, like, catch you pretty quick and then pass you clean the next corner or within a lap or something, I think that's where it should give you 2 points that way as well. But really, it only gives you 2 if you pass them cleanly. So, like, I probably just got 2 with Greg Sachs there. Or I should get 2. And then he's going to get me right back. Yeah, he's at 6. So, I passed him clean 3 times in this race. Uh-oh, leader Earnhardt's behind us. Are you intimidated? Alright, so we're going to pit in about 5 laps to evenly split this second run here. We're going to have another race without yellows, aren't we? We've been getting a lot of those this season versus what it should be. I was starting to wonder if our AI settings were working with them wrecking or not, but then we had a couple races where they did wreck a couple times, so I don't know. Dang it, I couldn't draft you down the front stretch this time. You learned.
Bash. Said so there is really way to win then at the moment.
There's a way to win? No way to win.
No way.
Oh, for us to win? No. No, our car's nowhere near upgraded enough, and also, like, we got to pit an extra time here anyway. Yeah, no, we're not going to win in this season without some weird caution miracle of some sort. Like, but no, it's the first year of 04. If you're playing on Legend difficulty and you're just running the default setups, you're not going to win a race. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Without modding, you probably could win a couple road courses and maybe Daytona Talladega by doing some cheesy strats with pit stops and stuff. But if you play with the mod tool, adjusting how fast or slow the AI is at different tracks, and you run the default sets, you really shouldn't be able to win anywhere. The road courses, though, you're still going to be fast because they do cap out with their stats without doing the extra modding that I'm working on for making AI tougher, because there's another way to do it, but it does take literally cheating your car stats to beyond their limitations. So, like, for example, setting the AI... I'm going to pit this lap since we're lapped. Setting the AI to... Or, sorry, setting... Say your car's power above 100. If you set it to, like, 200 or 300 or 400 or something ridiculous, the AI will compensate to some extent to your car's average rating. So if you set it to something insane, they'll get faster than even their normal max. So I've been experimenting with that. I still got some work to do. Oh my gosh, the Jackman twice. We're gonna fire this guy. This is two mistakes today. He's not one of you guys, so it's fine. You guys are safe. Ty Thunder didn't make a mistake in a while.
Ian, Silverwolf 75.
Oh, sweet.
Said hello. Finally sent you the .xcf files of the schemes you wanted.
Awesome. I'll have to let Off-Zero and Flynn know because they've been working really hard on the 2003 paints and just, I mean, launching them out. So I'll let them know that I got those files, and then I'll probably work with them on getting them ported over or whatever. No, I appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. So for anyone who doesn't know who's here, 03 is gonna be complete soonish. But Silverwolf hooking me up with some. He did a whole 03 pack for NR 2003, and he still had his files. So he was kind enough to ship them over, so I can work from there to finish up the 03 stuff a bit. Which is great because Off-Zero and Flynn have been working their butts off and doing great, but it's like this saves so much time, so I'll have to let them know after the stream and that I should be able to contribute and speed up that process. The only two paints I did for the 03 pack were Todd Bodine's 54 car and Dave Blaney's 77. Because those, in my book, were two of the biggest people that were missing from the game entirely. They were two of the biggest cuts. Are any of these guys for position up here? No. Rick Wilson's the next spot. Sorry, Rusty. I say as you're going to try to squeeze in here anyway. Fresh tires, trying to come through cleanly. And Cope's still up there in 5th. Jimmy Horton, dude, I swear to God, Jimmy Horton's AI is, his variance is rigged. I don't know what it is. I double, triple, quadruple checked that Jimmy Horton and Davey Allison were getting their stats set up correctly, and they are. But for some reason, Horton's car always runs better than it should, and Davey Allison always runs worse than he should. And I have no idea what secret code or programming or extra thing is going on with those two cars. But there's something about it that they just run better than they're supposed to. But hopefully when I get the database to update properly and the variance to be 2 for everybody, maybe that'll fix that. I don't know for sure, but I plowed. I really hope that does help it though, because I really hate the fact that like we have some. It's only a couple of cars, but there's a couple of cars that just seem to run nowhere near where they're supposed to. That don't have high variance, and actually Jimmy Horton might have high variance, but he always seems to run good, whereas like my dad seems to more often than not, other than super speedways, he seems to run bad, and then Tim Richmond seems to run middle of the road more often than anything, but he'll do the full range of up front to the back. But Tim Richmond should be up front a lot based on his stats, but the variance is just kind of take him back. So I don't know how that stat works. I haven't figured out how the variance works. I can't change it with the regular cheat codes, but eventually, at least for the streams, I'll have it done manually, and maybe I'll make a video on how to do it for other people once I get it to work. But I haven't yet, so I gotta figure it out. But that's the one big crux, and I have had people say about other packs that like Kenny Schrader, I think in 03 ends up just finishing better than he should most weeks. Like he seems to run a lot better than he should, than his stats show. So there's a couple people that just seem to run differently than you'd expect, which I can't do anything about it because I don't know what's driving it. Because like I said, I've triple, quadruple checked that the stats are set correctly for those drivers, and it just so happens that they seem to just not perform. Everyone else performs the way you'd expect based on their stats, but those, there's like 2, 3, 4 slots that just seem to not. Now what I could do if I really got desperate about it, I could set it up so that those 3 to 4 slots are not used. I have to figure out which drivers they are, which shouldn't be too hard. I just really have to shut textures off and see what cars they are. But those slots that are used, I could just not use them and then assign the drivers other driver slots. But that would limit our maximum car count. I'm here already, Moroso. Jesus. God, he really wanted to run the bottom. Even when we got clear, he went lower. Jimmy Means. I was going to go high, but now you're blocking high too. I thought maybe you'd pit. Pick a lane, Jimmy. I'm going to need some of that Alka-Seltzer for some fast relief on... Are you pitting? No, you're blocking. Okay, I thought you were pitting. Well, we might as well draft him now. We're on the straight. No, maybe we'll do a late. We'll do a late. Oh god, I went too hard. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Well, actually, I'm kind of not sorry, Jimmy, because you were blocking the crap out of me. I didn't know if you were pitting or blocking half the time. Alright, well the good news is some of the cars are pitting, so we're going to get some of these spots back the way we should. Bad news is, as per usual with Michigan on here, they're not all going to pit. I thought about shortening just this race so that it fixes that. But, again, I was so busy this past week, I didn't even realize Michigan was coming up. Or lengthen the race, either way. If made it 10 laps longer or something, then I'd be able to do it in 2 stops. If it was 60. Or even just 55 would be enough that they'd pit again. We're still 42nd though. Nobody's pit that's mattered yet for us. Unless they took less fuel or tires, because that looks like Moroso ahead of us again. 3 cars up there. The one on the outside. I guess 2 cars up now. Did he really pit and just do fuel? I mean, it makes sense, but usually the AI doesn't do smart things on pit road. So I'd be really surprised if they actually did it the right way this time. Okay, that's good. I thought about slapping the words "just married" on the screen for the stream, but I didn't think about that till after I launched the stream, and I was already having some technical issues to start, so I decided not to. But I thought that'd be funny. Man, yeah, we're gonna end up. I mean, there's a couple people on pit road. We might get spots here, but we're not gonna end up anywhere near where we were supposed to. We were gonna be like 28th to 32nd, somewhere in there. The way we ran. But now we're definitely not. We got by Pennington. Moroso I can see ahead of us. Like I said, I think he actually did pit strategy of not taking 4 tires. Jimmy Means we see ahead of us. Not going to get there. Dang it. I think if we actually evenly split both stops, I'd have gotten a few more spots back, but it still wouldn't have been a lot. That sucks. We actually had a good race setup. Or not a good setup, but like a good race going for our equipment. Oh, they ran out of fuel right there. Don't do it! Don't crash. Okay, good job, AI. Oh, we got by JD and Neil Bonnet right at the end. I guess they were on pit road before the start finish.
Well, that's good news for all these race teams because that can mean
That was bad news for us.
The 7 car would like to have finished a lot better,
Yep.
I'm sure. He stayed in the
Bash.
fight all race long.
Said just needed one more lap.
Yeah, that's how this track is.
Said, is there a way to adjust the AI pit strategy? There was one time I raced the Bud shootout and they definitely...
In the pack. But it...
Bash. Said Michigan has been known to go yellow free in this era.
That's fair too. But to answer your question, you can't really affect it the way you'd like to. Oh my God, Jimmy Horn got 4th. Earnhardt dominated the race. Well, he led the first half of the race and then faded there with his pit stops, I guess. But no, the most I could do is adjust the slider of like how good or bad their pit strategy is supposed to be. But I don't think it works the way you'd expect it to. It just doesn't seem to do much. Hutch Strickland with the 13th. Morgan Shepherd 14th. Richard Petty with a top 20. He hasn't been running good most of the year, so that's good to see. Kawicki with a bad finish there. Kyle Petty with a bad... He was up front for a while. Bad finish. Again, it's probably just people that pit extra versus not. Tim Richmond faded the 25th. Let's see. Harry Gant, Davey Allison back in the 30s. No good. I think Barkdahl was our random person that made the field, by the way. We only had one this race. I also didn't fix my icon between streams because, like I said, I didn't have the time to do anything. And my dad blew up early in the race. I was just not good all around. On the bright side, we gained money, at least. We went from 216 to 303. Ooh, Pepsi 400. Although, what was it called that year? Was it still the Firecracker 400, I think? Alright, so let's swap my view to this one, and then back to the modding tool, close the pylon down. Actually, I'm going to restart the modding tool just to be safe.
Said, see, there is your problem, it's a Chevy.
Technically, the entire field's a Chevy, and no, that's not a problem. I have had plenty of success in Chevys in my years of real racing and sim racing. So, no. Disagree. Alright, Daytona. We want Daytona 2 to be our main race stat, and Daytona 1 to be our secondary, Daytona to be our track stat adjust. I think I wanted to make them more... This got reset on me, by the way, for anybody who wasn't here for it, so I'm going to make them a little faster.
Said have 2 as a more Ford person, LOL.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to each their own. Okay, that should be all of that. And then finalize. And okay, we want to make sure we get all the right drivers in here. Oh, well, DW... Okay, DW is an exception because he was injured at the time, which is the only reason he missed. I think Greg Sachs drove his car, if I remember right. But we'll put Greg Sachs full-time, Buddy Baker full-time, since he made Daytona. Mickey Gibbs. Dale Jarrett. AJ
Said
Foy.
I like them all.
Oh, we want to do Neil Bonnet. Let's not forget Neil Bonnet. You like all the race cars? I mean, if that's what you're saying, I agree. Pretty much. Barkdahl made it. Okay, that's everybody. And that leaves us, again, with only one person that's going to be randomized. So essentially, minus my dad, Tim Richmond, we're missing 3... No, I guess including me then also. We're missing 4 drivers that actually ran the July Daytona race. Versus, there's a lot of people with a similar rank here because of how the stats calculate out. Oh wait, actually, Dad and Dick Trickle I have literally set to the same stats, but yeah, you can see Davey should be like overall he should be 14th-ish for his stats, but I don't know, it doesn't work out.
Greg did for DW when he was hurt at Daytona.
That's what I thought. Appreciate the clarification. Okay. Okay, 41. We'll go live tools. We'll put the pylon back on. I'll put the lap. Well, it's Daytona. We're not gonna need the lap counter, so I'll just leave the basic pylon up for you guys. Okay. Now let's go ahead and run. Oh, we have a new. Wait, I didn't even go to the team management stuff. So I said I was gonna fire the one pit crew guy. We also got a new chassis complete. So the Jackman is getting fired because he made 2 mistakes in that race. That's actually probably what cost us a lot of spots there. Because there were quite a few spots that were like right in front of us visibly. These guys are better, but they're more expensive. I'll go skill over speed for the sake of, like, he's going to be faster than the rest of the crew, so I don't know if it matters. Also, again, if you're in chat and you want to be added to the pit crew as, like, a named member in the game, I can and will do that. Okay, now we should overhaul this guy. I'll do 4 races just because it's a bit expensive. We could build another, but it's going to take a while. And we'll do it. Alright. That's the chassis going. Engines repairing one more. Yep, everything's good. Okay, now we're ready to race. And let's just make sure it's all the right stuff, which it should be, because they should all... Yeah, there's only one available of each. The good news is, though, we've got better equipment for this Daytona race than we did for the 500. But I also ran AI a little easier than I am now. Let's double check the defaults in, because this game likes to apparently change them. Why is there no... You can't select downforce here? That's interesting. I don't think I've ever... See, I don't mess with setups enough, so I don't even know what's normal and what's not. They started us at a good speed, 157. And this is going to be our last race of the stream for the night. I know it's a shorter one than usual, but I got on here late because I got married, so I was busy today and wiped out. I got dress shoes on your feet. I feel for women when their heels and in their fancy shoes, because dress shoes are not great on the feet for guys even. So I can't imagine. But we had a good time. We had a really good wedding. It was really enjoyable, and everybody seemed to have fun, and nothing crazy happened, which was always good. Alright, well, first lap no bueno, but you do start at a pretty low speed, so not surprised by that. I forget what our goal... I always forget to check the sponsor goals. I need to, like, note that somewhere. And oh, and now my pit crew graphic's going to be inaccurate for the Jackman, because I just hired a new guy named something Pool. I actually do have a way to find out his first name. That's something else that's funny with the mod tool that you can learn that wasn't possible before, is the first names of the crew guys. 24th. Wow, that was way better than I thought. Okay. Yeah, so my pit crew... Matt Poole is my Jackman, so his first name is Matt. And that one. Right, we are starting 24th. My dad's way in the back. Earnhardt's way in the back. Wait, no, that can't be right. Is that right? I mean, I am 24th. I guess we'll see. No, it's not right.
Well, you're right. To have your name mentioned as a former winner here at Daytona puts you on a list with some drivers that these guys have admired since they were kids.
How about the consistency shown by Sterling Marlin?
Yeah, he definitely has found something on these big tracks. I look for him to have a great race again in this one.
The 7 car looks to turn his luck around in this race.
Oh, he definitely wants to turn things around starting now. His whole crew seems determined to pull out of this slump. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull off at least a top 15.
The 35 car has has a remarkable qualifying average this year.
Oh yeah, and that makes it so much easier on race day also.
He
When there
does?
isn't much
He's
traffic,
starting
it makes
40th.
your race a lot less stressful as a driver.
They actually didn't talk about Butch Miller. Dick Johnson made the field. We had 2 random people, and Dick Johnson was one of them. Awesome. Alright, let's get rolling. So Earnhardt is actually up front. This should update here in a second then. Or wait, I think my pylon's not synced up correctly. That's weird. I haven't had that happen since I very first made it. Yeah, it's not... Okay, now it's synced up. Earnhardt's 5th. Yeah, okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't reset it after loading the track. That's something you have to do. Okay. Starting right behind Butch Miller here. Yeah, Davey and DW right behind us. That was a good choice to go to the middle. I almost always forget to shift to 4th at the right time because you get in 3rd and you get the higher RPM, and I'm just like, yeah, it's Daytona. I'm not, I'm just going. Neil's trying to get by us here. My dad's behind us. Hey, help. Well, that worked out. Ooh, Neil almost clipped us out of 4. Alright, let's go. I kind of ditched my dad inadvertently. If it was easier to pull people behind you, then, like, if it was a little easier to do that, I would focus on it. I mean, he got clear. Here he comes anyway. Let's see if I get by Neil. He's checking up a little bit. By the way, for those that don't know, when I do get to the 91 season, which is going to be a while, I'll probably have an intermittent stream if the 91 pack's not ready in time, which it probably won't be. Then I'm probably going to stream... I haven't decided yet. I have a couple options, and I'll probably just do a poll or something in Discord. Let you guys decide. But when I do get to the 91 season, Rob Moroso is going to be part of the What If. Tim Richmond still will be, if the game decides that he doesn't retire. We're gonna do one simulation, not simulation, but we're gonna go to the next season in the game to see who retires and changes just for fun. But that's gonna be my determining factor of my What If drivers retiring. So on the off chance that Tim Richmond retires, then I would have him retire in our career. So I'm going to let the game do those decisions, essentially. But Moroso's going to stay around as part of our What If. So what if Moroso survived in 1990? Obviously, Tim Richmond's going to stick around if the game decides that he didn't retire. Neil Bonnet continuing the race. Granted, I'm probably going to change what car he's in, because right now I have him in the 21. I'm probably going to put Jarrett in the 21 like he's supposed to be then, and I'll probably put Neil in like a 31, since it's one of the cars he ran that's open. So that's kind of my plan for the What If drivers. And we lost my dad lost us. He's gone. Got Bobby Hillen behind us. Working well. There's quite a pack behind us, actually. That could be bad later on. Actually, there's a huge pack behind us. I'm trying not to, be a crazy blocker. I know you can block the heck out of everybody in this game, but I think it's a little too easy. So what I'm trying to do is just let the draft runs, like as people come to me or not,
Falcon 1824
kind of play out.
said, well, the 31 doesn't come till 93.
I understand that, Falcon, but it's that or Neil doesn't drive anything for 91. And my what ifs have all been like if drivers didn't get injured and didn't die, like those are the what ifs. So if Neil wasn't injured, now obviously he probably would have just stayed at Wood Brothers, but I'm not going to go to that extent because I don't know what car to put Jared in at that point. So I'm essentially going to do it as if Neil stays in the 21 for this season. Jarrett's running the 29 behind us here for this season. But 91, I'm going to put Jared in the 21 car and then put Neil into his own car. I know it could be the 51. I could put him in the ride that Purvis is in, but Purvis ran that ride plenty in 91 as well, and 90. So I kind of just want to put Neil in his own number, and 31 makes sense since that's what he eventually then runs. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's where my thoughts were. And like Moroso's going to stay in the 20, but I'm also going to keep, essentially I'm going to make their secondary car.
Said, let me think of something and we can talk about it.
Sure. Moroso's going to end up, I'm going to keep him in the 20. And then they had a second car for a few races in 91, the 27. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to treat the real life 20, whoever I forget who drove the most races in that car that year. But essentially they're going to drive the 27 in this career. So I'm still going to make it as if that team went to two cars, even though it was only for a couple races that they did so. Uh-oh. Jarrett was tired of following me. I'm just slowly getting not swarmed, but slowly losing spots here. I'd like to be able to latch on to somebody, but I've not really had enough speed yet to do so. Speaking of speed, there he goes. Gone. And again, we got Davey running in the 20s. See, this is what I mean. I showed you guys his ranking was 14th or 16th or something. And that, by the way, that's like an average rank. That's not like he's actually the 14th ranked in stats. It's more like your fastest driver might have a rank of 8 for their average for the track or whatever. So Davies being 14 or 16, really he probably was a top 10 car. And I don't know why, like I said, I don't know why Davey Allison, Jimmy Horton, and a couple others like just seem out of place. If I remember right, I'll have to check, but if I remember right, I think Horton's car that he's filling the space of is Dale Jarrett. I don't remember what Allison's is, though. I'll have to look. But, like, obviously the stats are working, because, like, Kowicki's running 4th, Harry Gamp, Reppo Hines up front, Morgan Shepherd's in the top 10. Like, you have, those guys obviously fluctuate with their stats. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Like I said, when I figure out how to adjust the variance in the database, then maybe, you know, I'll run like a test race or two off, you know, not on stream, but just to see if that makes a difference in those guys. And we cannot keep with anybody's draft at all. I always hated that. They run behind you and like you seem to get good pushes here and there, and then then as soon as they're clear, they're just gone. But I also said I wasn't gonna block like mad, even though I know I could. I mean, I kind of did there, but I'm trying to actually latch on to somebody. And this is another fantasy one I have, is Phil Parsons in the 22. Because Rick Mast I have in the... wait, what car do I have Mast in? Oh god, my mind. Because he ran the 22 and something else. Oh god, what's the other car? And Phil Parsons was supposed to be in the 29, which I put Jared in to keep Neil in the 21. But I thought if Phil wasn't in the 29, I could easily have seen him running some races in this 22 car, because they had a few different drivers run it. I can't remember. You guys could probably see it on the pylon what Rick Mast is in. I don't... If he's in the race. It might not be. I cannot remember what car it is. Well, this is all the way to the back of the pack behind us, so that's not good. We caught Labonte, though. So maybe I could latch on to Labonte, but we're about to pit soon. But if we could just stick with somebody for a while, that'd be helpful. Say as they pull away out of the corner. It's weird. When we get draft from behind us, we still keep pace with the guys ahead of us, but we can't keep pace with the guys ahead of us when we have their draft. It's really weird how it works out. Do I have to pit this time? I wasn't paying attention to how quick my fuel was going. I mean, pitting now won't... I might as well. Pit at 15 and 30, and that's... Maybe we'll do 2 on the second stop. I don't know. I don't like to cheese it too much. There's a lot of... Well, I thought... Oh my god. I don't know what happened out of 4 that I thought they were pitting, and then they just kind of didn't. Okay, well... Alright, remember, the Jackman, he got fired, so ignore Byron Hirsch there. That's, Mike Poole is our Jackman. Everyone else is accurate. Okay. Alright, looks like no mistakes. A little bit of damage to fix thanks to that pit entry. Sorry. It felt like I shifted early. It didn't sound like it was turning many RPMs in second, but now I lost more time. Well, I mean, I got the people behind me. I think other than Petty, that's pretty much who was behind me. Trying to do proper pit exit, which is really weird in this game. Guys behind us are pitting. They're going to slow themselves down. Oh, Rodney Combs is back there. Well, he got stuck on the apron there, thanks to the guys that were pitting. They just boxed him in. It's just me and Neil now. All right, Neil. I said I wasn't going to block, but we gotta see where we cycle out in the pits first before I just completely stick myself here. say that, I just pulled a gap on him. You know what I mean? I never understood the AI of super speedways in this game. How they pull away and then slow down. Is somebody blown up down there? That's what it looks like. Don't hit him. Green car. Oh, that's Brett Bodine. He was in the top 5, I thought, or top 10 at least. And he won our Daytona 500, so our Daytona 500 is not going to be a 2-time Daytona winner this year. And the leader was like by himself there, pit. Jimmy Spencer stayed out a long time. You know, I think it's just you and me until the other couple other behind us catch up here. Moroso, Combs, is that Hutch Strickland, the other car, maybe? Yeah, it's Hutch Strickland. Oh, we got a yellow. Where? Crew chief, tell me. Okay, smoke out of 4. Okay, we're good, we're good. There's a slow car too, just one down the bottom there. Looks like Ernie Irvin with a flat. Proof that the yellows are still on. Yep, Ernie lost a tire out of 4. Oh, he collected Kyle Petty a bit and then got out of the way just in time before the rest of the pack got him. Ooh, is that going to put Jimmy Spencer way up front? Because he was just on pit road, or did we cycle enough there? I guess racing back to the line, we probably cycled mostly. I'm going to pit just to, I don't know. I'm going to literally give up track position now. And then I think that justifies actually doing the pit strategy of not taking as much fuel on the last stop or all the tires or whatever. I think that's fair. I know I said I don't like to get offset from the AI much with pit stops to keep it like, I don't want to say fair, but just so that it's consistent with the AI and I don't cheese a really good finish by doing, I'm going to say AI manipulation, not, because like we all know what they're going to do pit wise and we all know how they're going to act, and then taking 2 tires or no tires would be better. But I'm giving up like 12 to 15 spots here. I forget where I was running. I'm giving up like, say, a dozen spots. Yeah, so we were 30 seconds. I gave up like 8 spots. But that to me justifies, had us in the wrong gear. That justifies doing pit strategy on our last stop. Oh my god. We're not going to have the draft unless they check up. I mean, I could block Ernie and get a push that way, I guess, to some extent, but I don't think we're going to keep with anybody without a big checkup. Alright, Ernie, you're my last resort, buddy, so I'm gonna make use of you back here. Unless we catch somebody I can latch onto, then I'll just stick with them, and I'm fine with if you get by. But until I find that out, I'm gonna be blocking. Work with me, Ernie. Oh, they're all pitting right away. Because they can make it from here. I see. Okay, well that's really going to make things awkward. I mean, I have to pit again too, so I could pit early with them and just take my fuel and do the leapfrog now. We'll see how much more of the field pits. I think they spread out on the last stop, though, as to whether they go early or late. Earn 8. Earn 8. The thing is, if we pit now and we're lapped, then I don't want to be in that position. So I got to see if these guys make it out. Also, I think 15 or 16 was the most I could do, so I couldn't pit right now anyway. this lap I could pit and I'd be fine, I guess. But I'd be worried about getting lapped, so I don't know. I think I'm going to just... I don't want to stick out and play block all day. But we're literally not catching the group ahead of us, which is disappointing. I really thought with our upgraded car, I'd be alright. I did boost the Daytona AI, like, or their speeds a little bit versus the 500. Because the 500, we got like 26th or something. And I didn't do any weird pit strat stuff. But... I don't know.
Rexilla. Said W Mods Man. Just got mine all set up thanks to your bits.
Oh, sweet.
We're live.
Sweet, man. Welcome to playing the modded version of this game. Which mod are you running? Which season are you running first? Just out of curiosity. And don't mind my terrible race right now. I know it says 29th, but that is not how I'm running. Pulling some bad Daytona stuff here in the first year of career on Legend. Ernie, he hit the wall. Swerving Irvin. I still kind of want to pit early now that we can make it and just top it off at this point. But I don't know. I'm still worried about ending up a lap down and a yellow coming out. And let's see what our pit options look like. Because if I always forget how this works.
Rexilla. Said I set up 2007 textures and drivers.
Okay, sweet. 07. I wonder if... See, I always forget in how it works in this game when you add the fuel is whether it stops when you have that much fuel or if it adds what you tell it. Like if I tell it to give me a half a can, does it give me a half a can, or is it like you have more than a half a can, I don't give you anything?
Rexilla. Said still messing with it, my game looks way fuzzy in the distance compared to yours.
Okay, so that the website I have settings and the beginning of my Thunder of all videos, my Thunder 2002 video, the one that's like fixing career mode or whatever, my graphics settings are at the beginning of that video, but the website's probably the best bet, so you can just look at the screenshots, because there's a couple of different settings that make that not as bad. Also, in-car view is clearer than out-of-car view. Out-of-car is blurry even for me, but it's not... I mean, my settings are less blurry than the base game. But in-car is usually pretty clear, no matter what your settings are. Well, not no matter what they are, but the default settings should be fine. But there's the beginning of the 2002 video and or on the website is going to be your best bet to find the graphics settings. I forget if I put them on the setup or using the mod tool page. It should be on the setup page. But either way, you should be able to find it pretty quick for the graphics. And you can match what I have, and it'll at least be like this. Well, now I'm afraid of pitting off sequence just for how much ground we freaking lost. But I don't know, man. I'm frustrated with how the super speedways work in this game sometimes. Yeah, like if we pit now, I think even if I did pit strategy, we'd end up lapped pretty quick.
Rexilla. Said cool thanks, you got a Twitter?
I do. I don't use it much. But my Twitter is AJFay77. You can probably find it with some of the mod stuff there too, but it's just my usual nickname. I know AJ Fails is the YouTube channel. This is not my main channel or nickname things, but it is now the more popular one through the modding. But my main stuff's always AJ Faye77. I tried to this channel was me trying to have a gaming channel. If you go back and look at all my old videos, they're all just random video games mostly. and I used to play them with a friend who's also named Andrew. So I don't know. It didn't really go anywhere, and we were playing obscure games and old games and stuff that like isn't going to draw the initial views anyway. We were doing it for fun, not necessarily trying to make anything of it. So not surprised that it just didn't go anywhere, but that's what this channel was my gaming channel, and my main channel's my like real racing videos now. It used to be iRacing and real racing, and then it just kind of, and I think even in the early days it was just kind of everything, but I switched it to just my real racing videos, like my in-car cameras and stuff from dirt racing. I gotta pit at some point. They gotta pit at some point too. I still think we lost too much ground here. I probably should have just pit as soon as everybody else did and done my like less fuel, no tires, since we pit under the yellow. But I didn't. I'm still debating it. Do I just pit now and get it over with, or for fear of being lapped, do I just wait as long as possible? I mean, I also don't want to end up on a crowded pit road either, for that matter. Because the AI on pit road's not super great. Goodness, my foot is itchy. Well, they're coming in now. Some of them, anyway. Actually, if I wait too long, Ernie's gonna pit without me. Unless Ernie's good to make it, because he'd pit under the yellow because he was the yellow. That'd be funny. Yeah, let's just come in right away. Find out. That way I don't get stuck out potentially for a lap. Let's get down the speed. That's quite a bit. I was way under. Okay, none of that, none of that. I guess that much.
Just imagine the
Oh my god, dude. Seriously? That is awesome. Holy crap. Thank you, man. Thanks, Rex. Bro, if you got, by the way, if you got a YouTube or anything, if you I don't know if you stream or do videos of your content, but or if you just play for fun, but if you have stuff to plug, man, throw it in the Discord. Absolutely. And not just because you donated, and I very much appreciate that. I don't even think the notification worked properly. I feel like it didn't. I'm gonna click the button and make it go again so that it goes.
Just imagine
oh,
the
it did.
possibilities.
Oh god, I forgot about that clip. Oh god. Okay, it did go the first time because I did hear it, but I didn't see it. Yeah, no, I forgot about that Dragon Ball one. I mean, they're all my donation things are Dragon Ball ones, but I forgot about that one. That's funny. But yeah, I was gonna say there's a channel in the Discord to plug stuff if you do any content covering the mods and stuff. But if you just play for fun, that's cool too. It's all good.
Rexilla said no problem, bro. Paying ya for the work, dog. Good stuff.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. That means a lot, because like it's tough. This is a lot. I mean, I understand not everybody's in a position they can contribute, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm happy that other people are happy and enjoying this sort of content, like, or this sort of, I say content, not necessarily my videos, but the mod stuff. You know, like, even if you can't give and you're hanging out and you've enjoyed the content, you've enjoyed the mods, like, no pressure, but it is super appreciated because it was hours and hours and hours of trying to learn this, but it was a passion project too. I wanted to do it for myself as much as I wanted to do it for people in general. But no, dude, I appreciate the heck out of that. Yeah, like I said on the Discord, there's you know, there's, I don't know if you joined it yet. I don't remember seeing a Rex in there yet, but um, even if you just want to hang out and talk NASCAR once in a while or something, like there's plenty of people and plenty of channels for all that stuff. I probably have too many channels in the Discord set up for all this, but you know, I was trying to make it to where there was a space for everything and conversations didn't, you know, just all end up in one channel and disappearing. Alright, I'm going to let... Oh, Ernie did pit. I was going to say, if Ernie steals a win, that'd be crazy. Tim Richmond's the last one in the pits there, and Jimmy Spencer. Oh, is Derek Cope? Is Derek Cope going to win? Is he going to get the lead out of this? Oh, snap. Wow, that'd be so funny. I mean, we had Brett Bodine win the 500, but Brett Bodine blew up today. If Cope ends up winning this race, oh my god. He's going to get the lead. Tim's just leaving pit road now, so that he's not the leader. I haven't been paying attention to the running order. Yeah, Derek Cope's the leader. Oh my god, this is going to be great. Oh, I got doored. I was going to try to latch onto you there, Mast. Or no, this is Parsons. So I have them swapped around versus the... it's Mast in the core 90s mod, but I have some what ifs going on for those that don't know. And then JD got by, and now I'm gonna just completely lose the draft. I should not have let them go. I let them go to try to latch on so we could actually go fast, and that was a mistake. But Derek Cope's winning over Alan Quickie. Freaking Cope's gonna get a... My dad's in the top 10. He started way in the back. I don't know why my dad runs good at the super speedways every single time. Like, he has not had a bad super speedway yet. Hell, the 500 he was leading for a long time too. Yep, okay, I lost that draft. That's alright, there's only a couple to go. We'll block a little bit if we got to for a top 30. We're gonna have to. But man, if Cope's gonna hold on, maybe. We'll see. I think he had, looking at how quick the names changed versus when he went by pit road, or how not quick they changed, I think he's by himself in front of, like, I think he's got a gap on the other group. That's crazy. That's awesome, though. Oh, Kyle Petty's back here with us. He usually runs pretty good. Well, he didn't last race, but... Oh my god, I can't block everybody. Okay, give me a push. We get that draft. Yeah, we got clear. We had the help. See, this is what I mean. You can fend somebody off with a draft when you're getting pushed and they're still behind you. But as soon as they get clear of you, even if they have no draft, they just drive away when you have underrated equipment or low-rated equipment. But like, I can leave the bottom open, and I'm getting a good push from Petty, so therefore Hillen's not going to be able to pass me. But if Hillen got, like, his nose ahead of my nose, he would just take off. Even if I had a push from somebody, he'd be gone. Derek Cope won. Derek Cope won. And we're going to get a top 30. That's about where we were running before we did the pit strat. I think we were 32nd, so that's around where we were before the yellow came out. Oh man, that's so, yeah, he blew them away there.
Not very many caution laps in this one.
Oh, that weird, they checked up for pits.
Would like to have seen more cautions. Gives them a chance to make adjustments without the penalty of going a lap down. They just didn't have that luxury this time.
The 7 car didn't have much of a race.
I hate it for those guys too. They were so positive about their chances to win this morning.
I'm okay with 29th.
It happens.
Well, it was a great night of racing, and until the next
Nope,
time,
that was weird.
this is MRN Radio and EA Sports. Good night.
Alright, MRN, good night. Oh, that's where Parsons caught my door out of 4. Door out of 4. Oops. That's not what I want to do. My dad still has the weird thing because I didn't swap that out, but that's okay. Okay, we gained money. Sweet, which we should because we did our goals. Derek Cope won after leading 11 laps. Butch Miller with a top 5. Awesome. Mikey with a 7th. My dad with an 8th place from 31st. Bodine, Harry Gant in the top 10. Jimmy Horton, again, with a really good finish. Like I said, his ratings are a little weird, and I don't know why. Earnhardt faded to 12th. At Daytona, what happened? Marlin faded a bit. Kenny Schrader didn't run super great. Dave Marcus with a top 20. Lake Speed with a top 20. Dick Trickle. Allison just outside the top 20. Let's see. Any other oddballs here? Kyle Petty being back with us, starting third, was one weird one. Bobby Hillens, similar thing, started up front. Labonte started up front. Neil Bonnet faded. He's another one that I think the ratings aren't reflecting right on the car. Like I said, I'm gonna see about fixing that and see if there's something to do with if the variance setting has something to do with that. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me, because I know the ratings are working correctly. So we saw Brett Bodine blow up. Didn't realize Darrell Waltrip blew up a couple laps before that, apparently. And then Ernie spun out with a flat at one point, so he lost. And then I held him up, so he lost track position because of that. But that's our finishing order for the Firecracker 400. Speed up our loading screen. All right, Poconos next stream. Oh, that means there's a couple Poconos coming up, isn't there? Wait, hang on. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Pocono, Talladega, Watkins Glen. Okay, so our next stream, we usually do 3 races. I know I only did 2 today, but I just got married today, for those that didn't hear yet or weren't here previously. Yeah, so next stream will probably be Pocono, Talladega, and Watkins Glen. And then the stream after that will probably be Michigan, Bristol, and Darlington. But, oh wait, where is the second Pocono race? Or is this the second Pocono race? And I don't... Yeah, it is. Okay, it's been that long since the last stream. I forgot. Yeah, I did split up the Poconos. Okay. Our points, just to update, because I haven't updated. Let me shut the pylon off. I don't need that now. Hold on. Okay. Our points. We have Bill Elliott in first by 100 points over Mark Martin. Rusty Wallace in third. 182 back. Jeff Bodine fourth. Dale Earnhardt fifth. Sixth is Rudd, a big gap back there. Kawicki right on his tail in seventh. Marlin a little ways back in eighth. Mikey Waltrip still in the top 10, only 1 point behind Marlin there. And Mikey ahead of Darrell there, brother Darrell, into the top 10. I think Kyle Petty was top 10 last time we ran, but he had a couple bad races there. Actually, Darrell blew up last race, so that he just faded too. Butch Miller in the top 15 in points. This is why MRN talks about him every week or every stream. And then Derek Cope with that win at Daytona, that put him up in the top 15 for now anyway. But yeah, that's our standings. All right, let's see if there's any team management stuff to do before next stream. So, okay, sponsor Prestige. Couple repairs happen. That's all we got. So, oh, not this one. Yeah, see that? I mean, like, our new one at 93% condition is still slightly better than our old one at 100%. So it's, we could get more races out of our new one than old. The same thing pretty much over here. It looks like just about. That's just the early game stuff. That's the only downside to us playing the career through time, is that, like, we're not going to run up front with the 90 pack at any point. Other than maybe Watkins Glen we could run okay. Sonoma I should have ran well, and then where I was running well, and then I didn't realize that I had to pit twice, and I last second panicked and didn't pit. If you didn't see that stream, that's a I want to say a funny one, but it was kind of a sad one in some respect. So it depends how you look at it. But all right, let's just make sure we get a couple save states just for safety's sake, and definitely save to the memory card, because I shut autosave off because I'm always messing with stuff I don't want. Always messing with modding stuff, so I don't want it to save automatically all the time. But oh, I wanted to check before we go. I want to double check my sponsor expectations. So average finish in top 35 for Valvoline. So that's just kind of gonna play out how it plays out. Qualifying 35th or better for Roses there. 40th in points, which actually I don't know where we are. I didn't look where we are, but we should be well ahead of 40th with how many guys are part-time. And then these two, obviously, you just get paid to be in the race. So actually our sponsor objectives are pretty easy right now. Okay, where the heck am I? Is a great question. We're 33rd. We're ahead of Phil Parsons, Troy Beebe, who hasn't made every race. Rick Mast. Oh yeah, Rick Mast is in the 2 car. That's right. Neil Bonnet, Jimmy Means, Pennington, and Baker. But just ahead of us are targets here. I mean, granted, there's there's only a small gap to Bobby Helen. We can make that up. Moroso's got about 100 points on us, which for where we run is a pretty big gap to try to make up. And Dale Jarrett, Richard Petty, and my dad. My dad's 28th. I didn't even look where my dad was. Right behind other Pennsylvanian, also driving a 57 of some sort, is Jimmy Spencer. So that's kind of funny that they're near each other in points. But just to show you guys, so the difference in the variance stat, just to show you guys. Okay, so Dick Trickle's 21st in points. I have Dick Trickle's stats, I have my dad's stats the same as Dick Trickle's, exactly. And yet they're, because of the variance, my dad's 7 spots back. Also, Tim Richmond, I don't even know where Tim Richmond is in points. He was 19th. I have Tim Richmond's stats the same as I think... Well, actually, no. Sorry. Tim Richmond's stats, I have his 1986 season, I think, which put him very similar to literally a top 3 to 5. I think he got 3rd in points that year, but he should be top 3 to 5. He should be right up here with Earnhardt, Bodine, and these guys. But he has a high variance stat, and because of that, he's 19th in points. So that's just an idea of why. Just a good example to show you guys why I want to change the range on the variance to be just low and consistent for every driver. Because I think it's just... I like having some variance, and I'm going to leave some variance in there, but I feel like the cars that are a 4 or 5 variance is just way too high. I think 3 is a little too high, but acceptable at least. But Tim Richmond, my dad, because I added them after the pack was done, they got late slots, and the later slot you get, the way I have it set up, the later slot you get, the higher variance you get. Because normally... the thought behind it was guys that are top of the points, guys that are up front, are consistent. So they should have the least amount of variance. And guys that are... and I can't change variance in the game. And guys that are in the back are going to have the most variance. They might finish in the top 20 one race and finish 40th the next race. They could be all over the place. So it made most sense to me that the higher they are in stats, the lower their variance. However, with the tool, it maps that when you click finalize the first time. So when I made the 1990 pack for everybody, my dad and Tim Richmond are not in the pack. It's just everybody from the actual season. So it mapped everybody to low to high variance in that order. And then afterwards, I added Tim Richmond and my dad, and that no matter what their stats are, they're going to be high variance. So that's why it is the way it is, and I could fix that for 91 to map them more correctly. But what I'm going to try to do is change the database so that just on my file, and maybe make a video so other people can do it if they want to just make everyone's variance less. so that they, no matter what slot they're in, they end up with the correct amount. But again, I also need to investigate why Jimmy Horton runs well every race, and why Davey Allison doesn't run well like ever. So there's still that oddity to try to figure out and try to get to the bottom of. But I'm trying. There's a couple of weird things. Everything else is good though. But that's gonna do it. I should be streaming Thursday for the playing every racing game streams. So Thursday night I should be on for that for some more PS1 action. A couple of fun titles coming up, including a NASCAR one. So I think this week's going to be a good one. And then next Saturday, I'm not sure what time we're going to get home because we're going to be at a con next Saturday. So there might not be a stream. But maybe I'll do one Sunday. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But definitely Thursday, though, I'll be streaming. So I'll see you guys then.